Hello, hello, hello. This is 3D or 2D.com's The 3D Show.
It came from the third dimension.
Put on your 3D glasses now. 3D glasses not included.
And if you're wondering what the 3Ds are in The 3D Show, well, they stand for discussion, debate, and the news. I will not be talking about
Disney ruined Star Wars.
and or
The Bears.
or
De Beers.
but we will probably talk about
Avengers.
and
Mario.
I do hope you enjoyed the show. The show, get it? Editor's note. So, I'm not sure exactly what happened when we're recording this, but my audio seemed to go really high and then fix itself, and Jake's audio seemed to be going in and out, and sometimes be too low. I did the best that I could to try to fix the audio, so sorry. But yeah, I just want to give you that heads up before we get started. Now, on to the show. Hello, and welcome to episode 116 of The 3D Show. I'm Adolf, and I have with me Classic Jake.
Howdy, folks.
Jacob.
Hi, everybody.
And John.
Hey, everyone.
And this is going to be the quote-unquote last episode, per se, of the 3D Show. We're going to have a memorial one, where we talk about the website, talk about memories and such. That's going to be separate. This is going to be the last for real numbered one. So 116 is it. And for the last time, when was this podcast recorded? John, current date and time, please.
Today is Sunday, April 16th at 2:05 Eastern.
2023.
2023. Yes, sir.
So, some news may have changed by the time you listen to this. We try to edit this and post this as soon as we can, but it's inevitable that things will change between release and time that we record. So, alright. So, we got a whole bunch of stuff happen since last time we recorded. And we got a whole bunch of trailers. So, I will let Classic Jake decide the first thing you want to talk about.
I guess let's talk about some of the trailers first.
Okay. Which specific one you want to go for first?
Oh, I guess Migration.
Alright. So this is a new trailer that came out from Illumination right the same day as Mario release, and actually got in front of Mario. And it is a 3D release, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
So this trailer didn't do anything for me. What about y'all?
I mean, it's just a teaser, so it's hard to say. It looks interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I could barely remember the name, so it's an impression on me.
Yeah, I'm with Adolf. It did nothing to make an impression with me. But maybe that was because it was a teaser trailer.
Yeah, but I've had teaser trailers decades later.
Yeah, like that teaser for Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
Even Back to the Future teaser trailer, that was great.
I mean, this was kind of like I had to rack my brain just to even remember the name of this movie. I was surprised it came to me that fast when Adolf said, "Pick Jake."
Yeah, the title needs some kind of something in there to make it a little bit more snazzy, but I guess that's what they got. So just in case you haven't seen this, it's a new Illumination movie, animated movie about ducks that are flying, and that's it.
Yeah.
They look like mallards. I'm not a duck enthusiast, but they do remind me a little bit of Daffy. I don't know anything about ducks that much, so then I guess there's a scene where it rains and they hide, and there's like a crane or something, but it seems we don't know anything about this, so it's kind of weird that they tease this with other characters before we get even a little bit. So, we don't know what the plot is, we don't know anything about Migration. And I guess y'all don't have much to say about it, do ya?
No.
No, I think it's a wait to see what happens with that one.
Yep.
maybe it'll be a simple journey, movie where you follow the birds that they're migrating, and it's all about survival. And, they have to survive here and survive there. And it's just a simple story with simple characters. And there's no big thought. Maybe that's how they do it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's Illumination in a nutshell.
Yeah. But with movie tickets starting at around $15 these days, do you really want to spend it
Right.
on ducks?
Yeah.
Now, I saw the trailer in front of Mario, but it wasn't in 3D. Did anyone see this trailer in 3D?
No.
I mean, flying does usually look really great in 3D. So, How to Train Your Dragon movies are great examples of that.
Yeah, Illumination usually does great 3D in general.
So, we'll see. But I feel like they gotta give a better, when they do a real trailer, they gotta give us something. If it's just the danger story, okay. But give us something there. All right. John, what trailer do you want to talk about next?
Well, I think the best thing that I've seen trailer-wise over the last couple months, and there's been 2 different ones, has been the Spider-Verse trailer.
Yes.
I saw the new one, or if you want to call it the second trailer, in front of Dungeons and Dragons, and that movie looks so good. Both trailers had, there were some things that were the same, but it gave you a little bit more. Still not clear on exactly what the story is going to be, which is always a great sign for the trailer when it's that great and I don't know exactly what's going to happen. So that could be the movie of the summer, quite frankly. It looks so good.
It just, the trailer kind of has me perplexed because they mentioned a line of Doctor Strange opening the multiverse. So is the animated Spider-Man movies in the MCU timeline?
Yeah, and in Doctor Strange, when he was kind of blasting through places, they showed animated type places, so he could very well be part of that, which is kind of cool because it ties it together, but it doesn't make it that you have to link them together. If that makes any sense. Yeah, I don't know. And which is what I'm reading they're doing anyway with Fox, Venom, and all that stuff. They're basically just going to be a different multiverse in the overall MCU, so to speak. So, but visually, it's not only the most original looking animated movie that's been out in such a long time. It just the pacing, just the style, just so good.
Yeah, the art style is gorgeous, absolutely stunningly beautiful. I mean,
it's been copied though, starting to at least.
Yeah. Oh, it's going to have an effect on animation. Trust, especially when it's won 1 Oscar. And when I saw this teaser, I'm like going, this thing just threw down the gauntlet, and they says we won a 2nd Oscar for best animated movie.
No, that's going to go to Trolls 3.
We'll get to Trolls 3. All right, so I guess another thing about Spider-Verse, across the Spider-Verse, is correct. They do have, I guess it's like one of the Spider-Man is angry at, I guess, Miles because potentially he wants to save his dad, and I guess, having a loved one die is a pivotal moment in each Spider-Person's life and something. I got that impression. I actually saw the Indian version of this trailer, which had a couple seconds of extra content. I don't know if y'all saw it.
No, I didn't see that.
Basically, the Indian trailer has the dad, shots of the dad, and then shots of Miles trying to save the dad. So that's the impression I got, that maybe that was not in the U.S. trailer. The U.S. trailer had more focus on like other stuff with just them being in high school and that experience. So there's, the international trailers usually have a little bit of extra stuff. That's interesting.
Yeah, I really like the fact that I quite honestly don't know. I don't know where it's going to go, and that has me want to go watch it even more, let alone the animation. So
we do got a new villain here, the Spot, which actually is pretty cool.
Yeah, when the food started falling out of him, it was funny.
Yeah.
It's just a great shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a big Spider-Man character, but it's perfect for animation. Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, I never even heard of this character.
Oh,
yeah, new to me too. And by the way, I will, and maybe you guys talked about it and I wasn't part of it, but I will give a shout out to the Dungeons and Dragons movie. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it's a fun time.
Oh, yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Man, that's a missed opportunity for 3D.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right. What else happened in that trailer? They do have the pointing meme, and it's kind of all right. It's kind of game played out now. So ice for me. And then you have it's pretty self-aware and having a lot of jokes like that, especially the jokes with the Spider-Man and the therapy session. So yeah, it looks good. Definitely looks good. I have no idea if it's 3D yet.
No, I haven't seen anything one way or another yet.
I mean, it is Sony, so Sony usually is pretty good about 3D. And, obviously another thing about Sony trailers is we all know it, that Morbius, lied to us, and this may lie to us too. We may have more to it, and we may have other things going on here, that are not in the actual movie. All right, so Jacob, what do you want to talk about next? What trailer?
Since I mentioned it earlier, why not Trolls 3?
Yeah.
All right, so this Trolls movie, I guess it's a Get the Band Together again, I think it is, or something like that.
Yeah, it's a Blues Brothers without the Blues Brothers.
Yep.
No Mission from God either.
Yeah.
No Aretha Franklin.
No Ray Charles.
Yeah. It was good. Why?
But I mean, because it was a hit on streaming during the pandemic.
Yeah. And animation don't have to be in the same room. That's why through COVID calls you could animate.
But it does look like it's well animated, and the scene with the where they're grooving too much or whatever that was, when it goes to 2D animation, looks great, but everything else is bad.
Yeah, it looks really basic. Trolls Band Together is the official title. And Poppy discovers that one of her brothers is part of a boy band. And of course, the boy bands here, Justin Timberlake. And it's pretty basic kind of story here. Oh. Like, they completely forgot about the whole other Trolls that were in the first Trolls movie.
God, I don't even remember the first Trolls movie. Oh.
No, I don't either.
I mean, it definitely is colorful and pretty, and this, hopefully, Mario will still be #1 animated movie, because Trolls made a ton of money. So, Illumination usually makes a ton of money, and this part is going to make a bank when it comes out near Christmas time, I think it is, right?
Yeah, like November. So.
Yeah, November 17th, so it's like right before Thanksgiving, but it's still going to be in the theaters for the Christmas time. So this is going to be one of those movies that are going to be top 5 for like a month or two.
Ugh.
Yeah, this does look bad. It does look bad. It looks stupid. It looks basic. Your fun pop music. Hey, 90s references, whatever. Animation-wise, like you said, it does look very pretty. And then the scene where they just say it, they get high and get tripped. That looks really pretty. So I mean, if they have more trips like that, that may be pretty cool. but
it'll probably be one and done.
Yeah. Meh. I mean, it's the second movie is very historical importance because of coming out anyway, instead of COVID, and still being a huge hit for everyone renting it for $20 at home. People rented that no problem. And yeah, it was. I reviewed this for patrons, and it was okay, barely. It was. I didn't hate it. It's just, all right.
At a time of where content was lacking, it filled the need.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it made money because parents needed to keep their kids busy, quite frankly, because they were locked at home.
Yeah.
So to think you're going to get the same return, 3 years later when the world's completely changed again is kind of hard to believe. But
A kids movie during a holiday, it'll probably make bank.
yeah, it's true. I guess if there's nothing against it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But old comfort, we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, we won't be reviewing this shit.
Shit.
I mean, maybe something happens and there's a...
This is the real reason why we're getting rid of the podcast.
We couldn't take another Trolls movie.
No! Please God, no.
Trolls versus Hotel Transylvania. Versus Minions.
No, that's a preview for the upcoming last episode of the Rememberable 3D show. We're going to have some best and worst talks of the movies, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be quite crazy. But, yeah, this looks, at least it's confirmed to be 3D. It's going to be pretty 3D, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think one of us are going to watch it in 3D or what.
I think I am, just for the 3D aspect. I'm a masochist.
Yeah. You'll buy it on Blu-ray just like you do for every other movie, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Just teasing you, Jacob.
No, it's true.
How many total 3D Blu-rays you got? Like 300 now?
303, I think.
Dang.
That's it.
Jake, did you get Black Panther Wakanda Forever yet?
Not yet.
I did.
Yeah, I did. That's my most recent too, yeah.
I'm so far behind because these Japanese ones at $100 a pop are kind of killing me.
I know, I gotta sneak them into the house.
Thank you, bonuses, tax money.
Yeah.
Alright, so we got another trailer here. Now, it's a DC property, and it's a movie that we thought was gone. Like, not gone, but like, we had never heard anything about it. It's supposed to be coming out, and, we're like, okay, I guess it's coming out in 2023, we'll see. And we finally got the teaser trailer for it, and actually, I think it looks good. The Blue Beetle.
I thought it was supposed to be Batgirl.
Yeah, but I thought visually it looked solid. I just don't know that I'm on board for another superhero movie with a general how he got power story. Same old.
Yeah, this one just seems like Iron Man, but with a Latino cast.
Yeah, and it looks like it could have been on HBO Max, and you wouldn't have thought twice about it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be an HBO Max exclusive until they said, hey, theatrical.
Yeah. So visually it looked nice, but I don't know. It just looks like stuff we've all seen, unfortunately, numerous times recently.
I mean, what's the point of it if they're rebooting the DCU? So
trying to get back some money you put into it, probably nothing more than that, I would think.
Yeah.
I mean, James hasn't taken over officially. It's already like everybody's like bored.
Now, the thing with this also, I think is interesting that this is after The Flash. So this is coming out in August, I think it is. So,
yes.
This actually is supposed to, I guess not reference The Flash, but it takes place after the events of The Flash, I guess. So
They mentioned Batman.
They mentioned Batman.
They do.
Yeah.
But which Batman are they referencing?
Yeah.
I mean, they say he's a fascist, so, I mean, which one is a fascist? John?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, when I compared that trailer to, like, The Flash felt very theatrical, there felt like there were even stakes in the trailer and stuff where Blue Beetle just seemed like he was going through the paces.
Yeah, it was like damn light.
Yeah.
And the Blue Beetle is an interesting property because it's not directly related to DC, but they bought it years ago, right?
Yeah. Another one of their purchases. And it was one of those. At one time, Blue Beetle was one of the most popular characters in America. A lot of people don't know this. He had a very very popular radio show.
Oh wow, we're going that far back for Blue Beetle, huh?
Yeah, actor Frank Lovejoy, played Dan Garrett, the Blue Beetle.
So, Jacob, though, you remember when Blue Beetle was in that run of Justice League, like International, when...
yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite run of jail.
So the only thing I could see happening in the future is they keep talking about Booster Gold, and Booster Gold Blue Beetle could be something where I could see James Gunn do similar to like a Suicide Squad or something. But
of it. Beetle were awesome together.
Yeah, so I just don't know if that's getting in the weeds too thick with superheroes. But he pulled it off with Guardians of the Galaxy, and general public didn't know them either. So.
Yeah, thought they missed an opportunity that they should have had Alan Tudyk and Nathan Fillion play Booster and Beetle. I think they're probably too old now, but
well, and they already have the base, right? Didn't in the Wonder Woman 84, didn't they talk about Maxwell Lord? Wasn't that the character in that?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's a direct tie-in to Booster Gold. So the groundwork is there, at least as far as the comics go. I just don't know if they're willing to go that deep.
Yeah, I mean, as I imagine when the first DC movie comes out, they're going to announce rebooting the DC. I mean, that just seems to be the way things are going at Warner Brothers.
Yeah, well, the first one he's doing is Superman, so that basically is rebooting the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Imagine they'll reboot it again.
Now, the Blue Beetle is older character. It's not exactly like Iron Man, but a lot of there's some kind of things that are interesting. There's a scarab from Egypt, and different people have had the title of the Blue Beetle over the eons.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. And three. I'm still mad about the whole thing what they did with Ted Kord.
Yeah.
I mean,
everybody was like, let's destroy Ditko's versions of everything.
It's a little bit like a combination of, Iron Man plus Moon Knight and, some of the Egyptian kind of mysticism.
Okay, yeah, a lot of that's reboot. But like the Ted Kord Blue Beetle always struck me as being a cross between Batman and Spider-Man. Yeah, billionaire who's lighthearted, likes to have fun and his gadgets.
Yeah, he could work on stuff like Tony Stark, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess Batman did too, though. Yeah. Bruce Wayne did.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Blue Beetle had his little hover. Because I'm trying to remember in the Watchmen the name of the analog character, Night Owl.
Yeah. Same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, because they had to change the. Yeah, and then they trashed the. Yeah, they let Alan Moore use the Charlton characters, but then they turned around and trashed them worse than any that they more characters.
All right. So, are you guys excited for this, or interested at least, or meh?
Yeah, interested.
I'll probably eventually see it.
Yeah,
superhero. No matter what anybody does. And I think superheroes are aren't the new hot thing anymore. I think video game adaptations have kind of taken place of the interest in superheroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mario, that, and Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely happy for the representation and having a Hispanic, filled movie with a superhero. That's exciting for me. Interesting. It looks okay. It looks fun. It looks basic, but
it's just why does George Lopez have to be in it?
I mean, Reyes is an interesting spin on Blue Beetle, and God, if I remember correctly, I think he was in the character was in the Young Justice animated series. It's been so long since I've seen any of those, and I haven't seen the newest version of it.
All right, let's keep going here. So we finally got the full trailer for Elemental, and Jacob, I think you nailed this on the head, where you hit this on the head of the nail, or whatever that term is, because it really looks super cliche. Like they're using every single, kind of thing about elements and having it, guess who's coming to dinner, and it's just, for me, this turned me off on the movie.
I mean, it still looks interestingly cute and well animated, so I hope it's not as bad as Lightyear is or was.
John, what are your thoughts on Elemental full trailer?
Yeah, I mean, much like Blue Beetle, I thought visually it looked great, typical Pixar, but in a good way. But the story, it just seemed like a lot of cliche, and maybe they can pull it off that it's an Inside Out, that it has a lot of heart and a good story, but it just feels like a lot of the Pixar stuff lately just doesn't hit both categories of adults and youth like they were able to. This one didn't do it for me. Sometimes I see that Pixar stuff and man, I'm bought in regardless of having kids or anything like that. But this one didn't hit any of the buttons for me.
Classic Jake, what are your thoughts on the trailer?
When I was watching this trailer, I just kept thinking about the emoji.
Yeah.
Sorta.
Just because they're using taking all the low-hanging fruit, all the basic cliches, let's have every single kind of, film student 101, element jokes here, and it's just grating to watch.
Yeah.
So the only thing they is a poo emoji.
I mean,
that's the grass creatures in the movie.
Yeah. Mm.
I mean,
it's Earth, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it's an Earth thing, right? That could be, part of it, I guess.
Yeah.
I just don't know how this might be it looks like a good short. I don't know how they can make a whole length movie with all of these jokes in there. For me, I just could not stand this. I was like, stop it. The trailer, it was too much. And there's just, they even had a fart joke in the trailer, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just kind of, no, I'm not interested. Less interested, and maybe not. Maybe Pixar is going downhill. I don't know.
I mean, John Lasseter, yes, he is a predator, but he had something there with his storytelling, so.
Yeah.
I mean, the last few Pixar movies, Lightyear was I liked it, but I don't love it. Turning Red, the same thing. A lot of people love that movie, but I think it's really good, but not great. And Luca was really good too. But the last one that really hit it out of the park, I don't know if it's just because it hit on Christmas and during 2020, but Soul was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Soul.
Yeah.
But then Onward was just kind of, okay, it's good. It's not great.
Yeah. It kind of, it was there. It was okay.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, it was the last movie I'd seen before the pandemic.
God, but hey,
Onward's the last Pixar released in 3D Blu-ray as well, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Legally.
It's sad because Turning Red and Luca would look really pretty in 3D, and some parts of Soul could look great in 3D.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see what happens in June. But I could probably wait to watch this on Disney Plus at home now.
Yeah.
All right. Now, me and Jake have talked about this for the patrons, but we're going to give y'all a chance to talk about this. Other animated movie from Illumination again? No, yeah. Ruben Gillman Teenage Kraken.
I think this is DreamWorks.
DreamWorks, yeah. Me and Jake really liked it. John, what are your thoughts on this?
I have to pass. I did not see that one.
Okay.
I love the take of an evil Ariel, like the visual style and all. I love the concept of Ursula not being a bad person, even though it's clearly not Ursula, but it's Ursula being like, I'm just misunderstood.
And this looked really pretty in 3D.
Oh yeah, I mean DreamWorks films usually are. I mean, Puss in Boots 2, fantastic. You know, just all their films are fantastic in 3D for the most part.
And it looks original and different. And Jacob, you have anything else? Or Classic Jake, do you have anything else you want to mention? No? Okay.
I thought this was like, whenever I first see the title, I thought it was God, what's his name? The director. Shit, what's his name? I thought it was a film about him. The guy who did. God, I can't remember his name.
What did he do?
Bear Munchausen, 12 Monkeys.
Terry Gilliam.
Terry Gilliam. I thought it was a Terry Gilliam film. Like, because I see the name, I'm like, oh, is that Terry Gilliam? But Tracy Gilliam.
So, John, just for you knowing, and everyone else listening that don't know, Ruby Gillian is a teenage Kraken, and she's trying to live her life pretending to be a human, and there are mermaids that are evil, and they are trying to stop, Ruby from being just existing. And it's the mermaids are evil in this, and the Kraken is good. And you get to learn about Krakens and how they live in their life.
What studio is putting that out? I'm not sure how I missed that trailer.
DreamWorks.
Okay, yeah. Yep, I'll look it up. I apologize, I missed that.
Yeah, you blink and you miss this trailer. It just vanished.
But it definitely looks original and different. And like I don't see anything like it before. So I'm definitely game for this. And
yeah.
Jacob, you and I have watched. John, have you watched second Puss in Boots or no?
I've seen the first one. I didn't see the new one. No.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
fantastic.
I know. I was on that when you guys were reviewing it, and I just haven't caught up to it yet.
So yeah, if DreamWorks has proven itself way worth it with that one at least. That's.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. All right. Well, next up, me and Jake talked about this already, but we'll give everyone a chance to talk about it a little more as well. We got a new Little Mermaid trailer. This is the full trailer for Disney's live-action Little Mermaid. This looks beautiful. John, what are your thoughts?
Well, I have mixed feelings. I have mixed feelings just on all the live-action remakes in general, kind of. So I don't desire for them. There's nothing for me wanting to see these movies remade because most of the ones they're doing now are just outstanding animated films, which I love as is. That being said, it does look amazing. I think it's beautifully shot. So I'll probably end up seeing it. I think the trailer's really good. I guess it's just a sign of our age. And I know we're all four of us, we have different ages, but I think, for a young generation, they're going to be much more appealed to this than they are probably that old 2D animation anyway. So I guess it is a good thing that they're remaking them and making them look so spectacular. But I'll check it out. But I'd probably really rather just watch the animated movie.
Yeah, it's just I don't. I mean, I know why Disney does it, but you figured that they would listen to the people who watch these movies, and they'll be like, "Why are they keep remaking them? Quit doing it!" And it's obviously because they make money.
But are they real?
It doesn't matter if they're good. They make $1 billion each.
Yeah, like Lion King, awful. Cinderella was actually pretty decent, but Beauty and the Beast, not really good. Mulan was one of the worst movies of all time, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I think that's the most telling is all the ones you just listed, I've watched all of them. I don't know. I mean, I didn't hate any of them, but I've never gone back and watched them again. Like, there's you don't feel driven to go back and rewatch them. And even if, where I think even the animated ones, even as a grown adult, there's something appealing to them, whether it's the music or just the beauty of the animation. And these live action films just don't carry that.
I mean, there's some I would love them to go back and reanimate because they really cut corners, like Jungle Book and Little Mermaid. If these movies have any serious flaws, it's the past corner-cutting animation they did on those movies. And there's several Disney movies in a certain time period they really cut corners on. And I would love to see them animate.
Well, I mean, they had to for Sleeping Beauty because Sleeping Beauty was a big flop, and it was cheaper to just copy and paste.
Yeah. I mean, heck, if they really want to, do live action of their animated movies, I mean, Black Cauldron.
That didn't make money. That's why they haven't done it.
Yeah.
I actually recently watched Black Cauldron, and I thought it was just kind of okay. I don't know, Jake, why you love it so much, but not for me.
Well, it's not my absolute favorite, but of that time period, it is of Disney. It's not perfect. It's one I would really like. If they got to remake stuff, I think it's one they should remake.
I think they should remake for that time period. They should remake Oliver and Company because that one was actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could do a lot with all the dogs and everything now with CG and stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now, back onto this. I actually saw this trailer in 3D in front of Mario, and it was gorgeous in 3D.
Oh yeah. Well, it wasn't in 3D, but the trailer was still stunning.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it in 3D in front of Mario and in the theater, and I was like, "This is wow! This is fantastic."
Yeah, I see the teaser in 3D in front of a couple movies, and it does look fantastic. And that's probably going to be the best aspect. Is great 3D. The movie is awful.
So I'm interested because of the 3D, and it looks pretty. I think my biggest complaint about the first trailer was that it was so darkly lit, but they have plenty of bright, colorful shots in here in the new trailer. So I'm game. Now, obviously, if you're going to remake some movies, we'll get to another remake that Disney's doing that I really have to question. But if they're going to make remakes, then they should remake some of the worser movies. And, why not give them a chance to shine? Because, I feel like Treasure Planet and Atlantis are both lesser movies. They're not great, but remake that. That could look great in live action and give them, punch up the storyline for both of them.
Yeah, remake Chicken Little or, I don't know, something similar.
Well, to Jake's point with Black Cauldron, I mean, that's kind of, if you already have the story in place, can you not, revamp it and actually bring it to times that would make some money for a change? I don't know, but.
No, because Disney just like that. We'll get more money with the property that's already popular.
Yeah. I would love to see Treasure Planet, though. I do like that.
Yeah. I like to see Disney remake Strange Worlds because It lost a lot of money, like Treasure Planet, and it has potential. It's just wasn't a great movie.
Yeah, I'm expecting now
All right, Jake, you were cutting out. What were you saying?
that they're gonna a live remake of Buzz Lightyear. They seem to want to recycle things. They're not even going to wait a year now, probably.
Now, The Nightmare Before Christmas, that would be really weird to see that in live action. That might be too scary for... I mean, technically it is live action, but not really, you know.
It's not a good movie. Controversial opinion. It's just
No,
music's fine, but the story itself.
Oh, the music's awesome. The story, not so much. I'll agree with that.
And the animation is beautiful as well. But yeah,
yeah, Henry Suffolk. Yeah.
Now, okay, since we're here, I'll go ahead and mention it. We got a confirmation of another live-action remake that is happening. Moana.
No.
No. First of all, I love Moana. I gave it a 10 out of 10 editor's choice. Love the animated movie. Beautiful 3D, great movie, great songs. Love that. It's way too soon for that to be live action.
Well,
Yeah, not even 10 years.
Well, I'm guessing Black Adam must have bombed harder than we thought.
Yeah. Yeah, The Rock's going back to where he thinks he's got a guarantee, but I don't know that he does.
Yeah. Yeah, he's kind of losing his luster a little bit, especially with some of the behind-the-scenes stories of him, like, with contracts and stuff. It's starting to be like, yeah, maybe The Rock is not the greatest guy to have in movies.
Yeah, the diva has started to show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I like The Rock as like an actor, but I think John Cena is probably going to supplant that because he's actually a legit, really good actor.
Yeah, the diva aspect that John said is definitely part of that because it's just the whole thing with Black Adam and having to fit with DC, and it just turned me off on him.
Period.
Yeah. And it kind of makes me even think about with him and the Fast and Furious movies is that partially diva related? I mean, I kind of was with Vin Diesel, but what about The Rock, you know?
I mean, if they want to remake something that is... Now, this is a controversial take. I mean, they could definitely make this into a good movie, Song of the South. That's a movie that they could remake and actually have, you know, be decent on them.
They'll get on the news, that's for sure.
So is Uncle Remus going to be played by a white person in this? To be aggressive?
But I mean, you know, if they want to remake old movies, well, that one, you know, you can make it into a good movie, make it into something that's worth watching again. You know, make these things that are old, that make it.
Yeah, first of all, why don't they just ditch the whole plantation thing, go to Brer Rabbit and Brer Fox, and just have them, Uncle Remus's tales, instead of having the whole damn plantation that nobody gives a crap about.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really need I like the Aristocats, but I don't need that to be a live action. I don't, I'm not going to gain anything. The Rescuers might be cool, you know, in 3D, in live action.
I already did Aristocats live action. It's called Cats.
Oh.
Yeah, how'd that do for you?
Beautiful. Like, I mean, Lilo and Stitch doesn't need to be live action. It's just infuriating.
Yeah.
I mean, most of them made $1 billion, so that's why they keep making them. And most of them, they either make a huge bank or they're kind of flops. Like, you know, the Pete's Dragon was kind of a flop, the new one.
But that was a good movie.
Yeah, it seems the ones parents that are actually decent, that parents don't want to park their kids in front of to babysit them.
Yeah, it's just like that was a legit good movie, and like the original movie was not that great, but it was like say live action with animated elements, and they just made it better. And Disney's afraid of that because it didn't make money.
Now, Jacob, you're almost the same age as me. How about some classic '90s cartoons remade into live action, like Dog or?
How do you pull off Skeeter?
Recess, you know?
Why do we not have a live action Star Blazers or live action Thundercats? That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Thundercats would be too sexy.
That could be awesome. Oh my gosh. I would take Snarf out of it, but other than that, that would be awesome.
Snarf.
I mean, I can just imagine how sexualized those things will be. Live action, those cats.
No, they would take it out, and people would be mad because animal not sexy for me anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like He-Man. I mean, how did you make that into live action? Oh wait, they did. It was terrible.
Yeah. Make it like the D&D movie and make it fun.
Look, if Disney owns some of the Studio Ghibli stuff, yeah, make Howl's Moving Castle into a live action. That would be pretty cool. That'd be badass. Spirited Away, yeah, do that. Hell yeah.
Or I can see Disney when Mickey Mouse lapses into the public domain, live action Mickey Mouse.
Mm.
Make it Winnie the Pooh horror movie.
Yeah. Yeah, Mickey Mouse, what honey.
So, like this live action stuff, it's like they're trying to cash in on your nostalgia, but they're so worried about making sure that they're doing it for today's times that it's too different from what you saw that it loses the nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
If they're going to do it something like the Chip and Dale's movie from last year, where it was actually fun and made fun of itself, but also stayed relatively faithful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like the Little Mermaid, like I don't care what she looks like, but the fact is, it doesn't look anything like the cartoon that you're trying to get the nostalgia from. So it changes the property, and I'm not saying that's good or bad, but you're not going to get the people that grew up on that coming out like you would say. I mean, like if you watch Picard right now, I mean that's what everyone is talking about, how awesome that last episode was because of this nostalgia factor of taking you back to when you watched that show. But it's exactly the same. They haven't changed it.
Episode 9 Episode 9 of season 3 specifically.
Right, exactly.
Wait, Picard's actually good now?
Yeah, season
Picard,
3. Season 3 is awesome.
Season 3 is some of the best science fiction TV I've ever watched.
Yeah,
absolutely,
it's awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and you don't watch the first 2 seasons. You don't need to.
I mean, there's some good stuff in season 1, but season 2 is mostly trash. But yeah.
but they don't. There's one character in season 3 that you won't know who she is if you haven't watched the other ones. But other than that, you can start it and you're fine, and it's awesome.
Okay.
But it plays on the nostalgia in a well balanced, well written, perfect way.
It builds on it.
Yes, and I think Disney's trying to do that with these live actions, but they're so vested into changing it for today's times that they lose that, and it's a sacrifice. And I think it doesn't match up. At least that's my assessment of it.
The message that we think of animation as lesser than.
Yeah.
Right, and it's not,
Yeah, especially since the animated versions of these are better overall.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I was going to do a whole podcast about this. Disney remake this podcast. And, you're kind of giving this podcast into the 3D Show 116, so I'm not really upset. But yeah, I mean, which ones have worked for y'all? I would say the Jungle Book is better. The live action one is better than the original. I love it, except for the music. The music's not as good. But the rest of the movie is way better. It's gorgeous and it's well done.
Unfortunately, Jon Favreau couldn't make lightning in a bottle twice.
I liked Aladdin more than I liked the Aladdin. Other than
wow,
that Robin. No, the thing is, I thought it was a better story. They got rid of a lot of the racist tropes.
Yeah. Jafar is way worse though in the live action than he was in the animation.
Well, yeah.
And I don't know that Lion King is really live action. It basically is just a a CGI animated movie, you know. And
there's literally only one shot that's a live action. That's the beginning with the sun. That's it.
But it's such a soulless movie, though. I
don't. It's not. I don't think it's awful, but when you compare it to the animated, there's no comparison. The animated is so much better.
Now, I actually really love the Beauty and the Beast. I actually really like it a lot. So,
Emma Watson is kind of a wet rag with Belle, but the movie's okay. But like, I have a feeling that Melissa McCarthy is going to ruin The Little Mermaid for me because of her Ursula.
Yeah, I think. Is everybody there?
Yeah.
Okay. I think Beauty and the Beast looks visually nice, and I enjoyed it. But I agree. I don't know that Emma Watson was the best casting choice for that. She doesn't have like that spunk that Belle had in the animated one. For whatever reason, I don't know if that was by design or just how she is, but
certainly can't sing. But
no, right? Yeah, I mean that's the other thing. You can't trade out actual singers for the singing part like you can in the animated ones. But
right,
the Maleficent movies are good. I liked both of them.
Yeah, I mean that's like more like prequels to Sleeping Beauty than anything.
Yeah, see, I'd rather see that where they have almost a spin-off or something that they do rather than trying to replicate what they already did.
Yeah, like Cruella. Cruella was fun.
Yeah, Cruella was really good. I will defend that one to my. I really loved Cruella. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, look at the actress though. She's she's really good, so that helps.
Now the Pinocchio movie that came out last year, that was horrific.
Well, I only watched the good one. I watched the Guillermo del Toro one, which is really fun.
Watch the Pauly Shore one?
No. I mean, I love the Guillermo del Toro one as well, but it's so depressing.
Well, it is. I mean, it's him, so it is dark, yes. But
and
tell me, is there any woman making love to a fish monster in this Pinocchio?
And the new one or with the Disney one?
In the Guillermo del Toro one.
No, unfortunately, no.
No, but
really like that.
No, but go ahead, Jake. Jake.
Well, there is a whale in this Monstro, so you could go there.
Yeah, right.
I mean, there's a lot of death. I don't want to spoil that movie, but Pinocchio dies multiple times. And it's quite disturbing. So, yeah, I guess that's a spoiler, but whatever. How he dies is how the interesting parts. But yeah,
that movie, the stop motion animation of that movie though is so amazing.
Oh yeah.
Gorgeous.
Now we already said Mulan. Mulan is terrible. So that definitely was not a good remake. We're gonna get a new one this summer, or actually 2 weeks. The Peter Pan and Wendy. That looks okay.
I've never even seen a trailer for it.
Yeah.
I saw one teaser trailer. That was it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't long ago when we had a 3D Peter Pan movie called Pan.
Yeah, with Hugh Jackman.
I like that movie.
Let's not talk about that one.
I like it a lot. It was actually pretty good for me.
Visually, yes, but.
I guess the Alice in Wonderland movies were terrible too.
Yeah. Visually, they're cool, but
yeah. I mean, Bert did the same thing with Dumbo, right? Like visually, it looks pretty amazing, but story-wise,
I've never seen Dumbo. But how can you make a 2-hour movie out of a source material that's barely an hour long?
That was good, but not great. It's like a 6, you know. It's okay. I guess it's some of the question here is it missing the point? Because animation gained respect because of the excellent quality. They couldn't do a live action. They had to do it. And, Disney really helped to make animation be respected here. And having these live action movies, it kind of diminishes the original by, having these be released. What do you guys think?
I mean, yes. Because, like, with animation, you have years. You have to do it years to meticulously cut down excess fat, to get the art just right, to get everything perfect. Whereas with live action movie, about a year or two most.
And, you can't so far you can't give animals emotions like you can in the animation, the 2D, the traditional animation. You know, the Lion King animals, they didn't have any emotion to them. They just looked soulless. So that's a big negative.
Yeah, making it realistic is a big detriment to the art form, to the story.
Yeah, well, he is sort of blurring the line between live and anime.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they pretty much any Disney animated that's based around animals is going to be just another animated movie, just updated.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably why something like Beauty and the Beast works better, because the things that are CG are inanimate objects anyway.
Except for the Beast, but that makes sense.
Yeah, right. So it's not something you would walk outside and see anyway. But yeah, anything with even the Jungle Book, I agree that wasn't bad, but I recall even the snake not looking the best, and yeah.
I mean, they're making a new Hercules. What's coming up soon, I guess, is another thing that we can talk about with those. Hercules is supposed to come out, which I like Hercules, but it's not great. But that could be actually pretty decent live action remake.
Yeah.
God, didn't have terrible live action Hercules movies in 3D in the last 10 years?
Yeah, in 2013 we had 2 3D Hercules movies.
Yeah.
Well, Jake, you don't consider the Hercules New York with Arnold Schwarzenegger? Arnold Strong, correct, sorry. That to be a classic? No, it's pretty terrible.
It's not in 3D. I don't have to pay any attention to it.
Hey, the Hercules with The Rock, I won't speak to the movie, but the 3D Blu-ray is really good.
Yeah.
All right.
The other one was not so good.
I mean, have you guys seen the Hercules New York? It really is terrible.
Yes, it is bad.
So, okay, what else? Making the second Lion King with Mufasa, which, why?
Yeah.
No.
Terrible.
Making a second Aladdin, which I think actually has potential. Those Aladdin sequels are actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
Hunchback is going to get us a remake, which I'm not a big fan, but it could work.
I love the animated movie.
There's so many incredible live action versions of the Hunchback Tradom.
Yeah.
So good luck with that.
Now, I guess the obvious question is, are they going to redo the Pixar next? Because
Oh God,
that's going to be interesting.
Joking. I was earlier in this podcast. I was joking about they're going to do a live action Buzz Lightyear.
now if they did a live action Incredibles with Brad Bird directing, it could work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it basically is a really good Fantastic Four family movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't hired Brad Bird to direct any MCU movies.
But, like, how do you do a live action Cars?
Oh God, I don't want to think about that.
Yeah, well,
I mean, wasn't there a car talking movie back in the 70s called, like, Derby or something?
Oh, and Barry Van Dyke did My Mother the Car TV show.
Yeah. Well, Herbie was just
Herbie, yeah.
He didn't talk. He just communicated with like beeps and light flashes and stuff. A very endearing and beautiful, cute character. Also, ironically, done by Disney.
The Love Bug, yeah.
if you want talking, you just got to go watch Knight Rider.
Michael.
Yeah.
I mean, A Bug's Life, would they get actual insects? I don't know. The CGI up to snuff to do that right now? Maybe? I don't know, but that looked really weird.
Or they just kill bugs and just puppet them.
Ugh.
Oh, I'm sure Peter will love that.
I mean, we all know eventually Toy Story is going to get remade and probably do a live action version. It has to happen.
No. I think you're going to see part 5 before that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, the Brave would be totally basic, but it would work.
Yeah.
It wasn't that great.
No, and they could do the Bearwell now and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coco might be kind of disturbing to see in live action, though. And its soul would be really kind of sad.
You can't really do a live action remake of The Good Dinosaur.
Right.
So we're safe there.
I mean, yeah. Up would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, since the house still stands in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got all the dogs though.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the aerial battle.
Well, there we go. We got a podcast recorded here for that. I can edit this out. And you can break this as an individual podcast. All right. Let's keep going here with Disney news. There's a major firing. Who was that, Classic Jake, who got fired from Disney?
I didn't think he was fired yet. I just thought they were discussing Jonathan Major.
No, not him.
No,
Yeah, he's talking about Ike. Yeah.
Ike.
Oh, I've already moved on about Ike Putterman. God, I hated that man. If there's anybody that deserved firing. Oh, it was even better than being fired. He was laid off like a common low-wage slave, which made it even better.
So what did Mr. Putterman do exactly?
Oh, he was just a money guy who had a lot of antiquated ideas. Him and
Eager.
he thought he knew better than Kevin Feige. He's the reason why. I mean, I blame any lack of success with the Black Widow movie solely on his shoulders. He destroyed the Inhumans with help of Scott Buck.
And he made it difficult for the Marvel TV shows to connect to each other, the movies.
Yeah, he really affected their merchandising. He ruined the comics because he's the reason why the Fantastic Four ceased publishing for a while.
Mm-hmm.
He even tried to have X-Men comics canceled, but they sold.
John, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, the Class Jake. I mean, aren't we basically seeing, Bob Iger just cleaning up everything that Chapek let go to a mess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, from the stuff with Marvel and Star Wars to Lightyear, Strange World, and regardless of the reasons, that those are all losers, like big losers, dollar-wise, as well as things at the park and stuff like that. I mean, they're cleaning house to right the ship, and we're going to get some movies and stuff here that unfortunately we're too far gone to change, I think, until you start seeing fresh stuff that doesn't have that look to it. Thankfully, Secret Invasion looks actually good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully we're on the right direction, but
and so this stuff wasn't, and then there was stuff that was pretty good that should have made money and didn't. I mean, because Chapek, was penny-wise, pound foolish.
yeah.
And then when Chapek let DeSantis push Disney around, I think between that and saying that animation was kid stuff, I think sealed his fate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Little Mermaid will make a good ton of money because I think it'll really appeal to young girls. But it would not shock me if like a lot of these live action stuff we're talking about go away because they're just not making the money. I mean, both Star Wars and Marvel did the same thing. They just said, "Oh, we're going to do all this," and now they're all tightening it down and saying, "You know what? If we don't have the quality, we can't invest this kind of dollars into things that don't produce." And I think that'll be part of it too.
Is cannibalizing their own product.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so we don't know about Majors yet. I think that story is developing still. There's more things going on with him, and
I think after Alan Horn fired James Gunn, and that basically that became the secret origin story for the next head of DC. distinguished competition. So I don't think they want to see how things shake out before they drop the hammer or embrace it. Because right now, who knows what's going on? I mean, there's people coming out saying all this stuff, but I'm like going, I'm kind of skeptical because I'm like going, I mean, my only familiarity with him, I saw him in the movie Hostiles and a few other movies and Lovecraft Country. So to me, I haven't followed his career very long. So I don't know. These charges are disturbing, but I wasn't there. I don't know. It's Disney's decision what they're going to do. If they keep him, fine. If they don't, I hope they cast with somebody really good because he's a really good actor, and it would suck to have a lesser actor play Kang. But it is what it is. But I don't blame them for not jumping the gun again. You know, sorry about the pun, but I mean, I don't think they want to repeat a situation.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's what happened exactly is kind of hazy to be
allegedly.
Allegedly, Majors had some domestic abuse with his girlfriend or wife or something, but apparently they recanted, and the story is much bigger. It's smaller than people were reported, and it's not that big a deal or something. And it's kind of been. I haven't read that much about it. John, do you know more about this or no?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right on. A lot of it, I mean, it's all alleged, and it's been hazy what's been in the news, and what can you, depending what news you listen to, read, whatever, you'll hear different things.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a charismatic actor, both in Marvel movies and other. I watched him recently in Devotion. I don't know if you guys saw that. Pretty solid movie. Him and Glenn Powell from Maverick are in that. It's another airplane movie, but based on a real character. He plays a real African-American fighter pilot. Good film. He's good in it. But I think they're going to have to make a decision soon, and it's either you're in all the way, or you got to recast him, because too much lies ahead over the next 5 to 7 years with the Avenger movies that are going to be make or break Marvel, in my opinion. You know, and if he's anywhere at all still questionable by then, they're probably going to have to recast, because how can you go into those movies that are going to be the biggest of this decade for Marvel and have a questionable lead villain?
Yeah. I mean, if DC could have Ezra Miller still on board as the Flash after all the crap that he's done,
yeah,
Jonathan Majors is like a tiny drop in that bucket.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying they should or shouldn't, but I mean, to me, I don't think Flash is on the radar of general pop culture like Marvel Avenger movies are. You know what I mean? And the next two, he's a key factor in them. Now, I don't know if he's in the new Loki season. My guess is he pops up somewhere. But thankfully for Marvel, Ant-Man didn't do very well. And although Jonathan Majors, I thought, was great in it, it didn't perform well. Yeah, it didn't perform to their standard. So to recast him probably isn't, no pun, major issue. It's more about the timing, that they almost have to do it now. And then if they do it now and all this stuff proves to not be true, well, now they have a black spot for firing somebody who didn't deserve to be fired, if not maybe a legal issue. You know, so they're in a tough spot.
It's probably, but I mean, they're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't.
Yep, you're exactly right.
But the timing of it is too coincidental with Creed 3 and Ant-Man 3, which you know, both fairly big movies, and then that's when the story breaks. So coincidental? Yeah. I don't know.
This whole situation reminds me a lot of what went down with the movie Birth of a Nation.
Yes, not the 19 something one, but like 2017 version, right?
Yeah. I mean, my belief is Marvel is going to just stay quiet until they're at the point where they either go have to film the Avenger movies. And depending where it lies, then they'll make their decision. They'll just have to live with it one way or another.
Yeah, I mean, they have some time to play with this because
they do.
We don't. The next, thing is going to be some TV shows. We have Guardians 3, which has no connection to, at least that we know of. No connection to Kang the Conqueror. Then Secret Invasion sometime this summer that has probably no connection to Kang, not that I know of. The Marvels doesn't look like it has connection to that either. And, just keep going down the list. Echo, probably not. Loki Season 2, absolutely. But we'll see how that works out. That's going to, like you said. Ironheart, probably not. Agatha, Covenant of Chaos, probably not. Daredevil, probably not. Captain America, New World Order, probably not. Thunderbolts, probably not. Blade, probably not. Deadpool 3, probably not. Maybe, I don't know. So it's going to be a while before you have to make a decision. A couple years, Yeah. And by then, it probably know the whole story and
Yeah. And to be crass, I'm sure Disney's sitting around seeing how the Ezra Miller situation shakes out. Like if Flash big, Disney may go, "Hey, this bad publicity is hurting box office."
I mean,
kind of shook by, the whole Trump thing. Talk about a guy who got so much bad publicity. It was selected president, but he got enough of the vote where the Electoral College kicked in. But then he lost re-election.
Well, bad publicity is good publicity, no matter how you spin it.
Yeah, Kardashian proved that old day in and day out.
It's probably to their benefit that Ant-Man wasn't a blockbuster, and quite frankly, Creed 3. It had a big first weekend, second weekend, then it just kind of dropped off. Those weren't huge movies, summer movie style movies. It's to their benefit
for Creed 3, it was huge. It's the second highest grossing Rocky movie.
But
for a movie released in March, that's fairly massive. And it wasn't a high budgeted movie either, so it's already profited quite a bit.
Yeah, I meant just in the lexicon of society, like when Avengers makes 1.5 billion, lots and lots of people are seeing it. It's on every TV show, and Creed is like that. But after 3 weeks, it kind of goes away. Those other movies are making billions. They're around for months sometimes.
Well, with the Rocky movies, it's like traditionally in the long run where, they get more popular over time. Like the first Creed movie still gets talked about. Even Creed gets talked about pretty well. With a lot of the MCU, it's like they do make a lot of money, but nobody has really talked about Black Widow or Eternals or most of them. Like No Way Home is the most recent one that people still talk about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's a $1.5 billion movie or whatever it made,
Yeah.
Yeah, 1.9.
Yeah, it's not quite the zeitgeist, I guess, a good way of saying it, not quite.
Yeah.
People are not talking about Creed 3 anymore, it made good money, but it's not part of...
I think they will, though, in the long run. Like, the fan base is still there. Rocky is an almost 50-year-old franchise, whereas MCU's barely 15.
Yeah, but Rocky's not even... And whether Rocky was in it, he wasn't in it, whether that will hurt or help in the long run, I don't know. But, I don't know. My guess is by the end of this summer, we'll know what they're doing with Jonathan Majors, because things will be moving along.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe,
they got to get filmed the two Avengers movies, because they come out, 2025?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to be starting, I would think, later this year, or towards the end of it.
They got to get pre-production ready, all that stuff. Get the CGI all nice and great.
Yeah, they might start maybe next year, but maybe they have to make the decision probably this year, though. Right. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. My prediction, I guess, not a prediction show, but I definitely think they'll just keep them and just move on. And the story probably people will probably forget about it in 2-3 months, maybe. All right, let's keep going here. So we got a whole bunch of DreamWorks news. we got Shrek 5 is coming out, and it's going to have the original cast, and is a reboot somehow. I wasn't excited about Shrek 5 until I saw Puss in Boots 2, and yeah, I'm 100% hyped now. What about you, John and Jacob?
No, I mean, I didn't see the Puss in Boots, so maybe that's hurting my interest. I liked the original Shrek, and I guess the second one when they came out, 20 years ago or whenever it was, but I'm ready to move on to something new.
Not live action Shrek.
Yeah, right.
Oh, God.
I mean, I still love Eddie Murphy, and he's done some things in the recent years that have been really good. I'd much rather see him in something original and different than just doing the donkey again.
I mean, Shrek 5, though, it's like, hopefully, maybe they'll get the directors of the Puss in Boots 2 movie, and maybe they'll just make it really good, because the last two weren't that great.
Yeah, the Shrek 3 and 4. Shrek 3 is terrible. Yes. Shrek 4 is good, but not great. It peaked on 2, and then went down, and then came back a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I love the animation style. If they keep the animation style of Puss in Boots 2, that was a gorgeous movie.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of story they could do. Are the kids grown up now, or what's going on with that? I don't know. Do they still have kids? If it's going to be a reboot, is it going to be you're going to have Lord Farquaad again? I mean, people kind of underestimate how revolutionary Shrek 1 was. It really was a huge deal when it came out, and it just revolutionized, and it made a big deal. People, have memes about Shrek, but it was a big deal to have a new animated franchise that was huge and made fun of Disney and was enjoyable. So,
and then it became a parody of itself.
Yeah,
kind of put me through the second movie, because I'm not a huge fan of the second movie. A lot of people love it, but I don't know. The first one's still the best one. And then the third one and the fourth one, it just became parodies of themselves.
Yeah, agreed.
Mm-hmm.
We got a Secret Life of Pets 3 in development, which no.
I haven't even seen the sequel, but the first one was just mid, super mid.
Yeah, the second one is more mid.
Yeah, if for Ford, it would be completely, utterly, totally not worth wasting a minute of your time with.
Yeah, it's completely a red box movie. 5 out of 10 kind of thing.
Still don't see it. It's not like there's not other better Harrison Ford movies to watch.
Yeah.
Hey, Harrison Ford is fantastic in Shrinking, Apple TV Plus comedy. That's great show.
Yeah, agreed. Hey,
Apple Plus.
Hey, there's a lot of good stuff on Apple Plus. So
he's good in 1923 as well on Paramount Plus.
John, what are your thoughts on Secret Life of Pets movies?
The only time I've thought about it is when you said, "What is your thoughts on Secret Life of Pets movie?" So I remember seeing the first one in the theater when my daughter was super young. It was okay. She was happy, but she was 8 or something. Never saw the second one, and I won't be watching the third one, I'm sure. I'm tired of the multiple sequels on the animated stuff that, quite frankly, the first one wasn't even that great. Now, Shrek is different. And you guys were right. Shrek, it was a game changer when that first one came out, because it was one of those things where as an adult you watched it and you laughed at stuff your kids didn't get. And then 2 minutes later, your kids were laughing at something that was funny for them too. Like they meshed that perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And it just tailed off. And I saw the second one. It was and then I didn't even bother with the other ones. But and Pixar has done some of that really well at times too, Toy Stories and things like that. But I'd rather just there's got to be more ideas out there. There just has to be.
Yeah, but I blame the public on some of this because Minions really. I mean, because the first Despicable Me movie, I love it, but unfortunately they took the wrong lesson from it and just cranked out Minion after Minions. I mean, they're like the lowest common denominator of the Smurfs.
Minions 2 was a decent movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like they took what should be supporting side characters that became huge and popular ant memes, and now it's just like a multi-billion-dollar franchise because of, I mean, it's the face of the company of Illumination.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess at the end of the day, we're just not the market, and if there is a market for them, good for them for being able to find it, but I don't think it's the gentleman on this podcast.
Yeah.
No. I mean,
But
I still...
story with them.
Yeah, so you're the problem. You don't want to see him, and you still go.
Well, hey, I only watched it for the review. I did the review.
Hey, the podcast is coming to an end. I don't have to see another Minion movie. I didn't even care about Transylvania franchise anymore.
Yeah, and then of course,
We're new.
That's another good example where the first one was kind of unique and fun, but then it just was like that. I was good with that one. I'd rather go back and watch that one every couple of years than continue with new ones.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
now here's another sequel that you might be looking forward to. Sing 3 is in development.
Oh my!
I haven't even seen the Sing movies. They look
Yeah, Adolf, you're killing us, man. Come on.
Hey, don't get mad at me for reporting the news. It's not my fault.
Don't shoot the messenger, right?
Right.
We've all died and gone to hell, right?
Getting close.
Sing 2. I reviewed Sing 2. Hey, I'm buying the bullet on some of these crap movies. So I reviewed Minions 2. I reviewed Sing 2. I reviewed Gods of Egypt. I reviewed a lot of crap for this website.
My first movie here was A Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You have our sympathy.
Yeah. The fact that you state says something about your honor or your intelligence. I'm not sure which.
Boredom. Absolute.
So, and also think I don't remember if it was my next movie but then there was The Nutcracker.
All right, so Sing 3. I guess I'm the only one here that saw that movie, right? Sing 2, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. I never got a 3D screening.
The 3D was really good. The 3D was really, really good. Now the movie is okay-ish. I mean, I think I gave it a 6. I think our previous editor James gave the first one a 7, which the first one was actually not bad. I actually liked that first one. The second one was good, fun, but I don't know how the hell they make a third one out of this. They really are stretching for ideas here. So yeah, Sing 3. I'm not excited for that at all. All right, let's keep going here. There's going to be a new Harry Potter TV show on HBO Max. No, wait, not HBO Max, just the Max channel.
Oh, God, I hate that name.
Yeah, why would they name the company of a channel that already exists? There is Cinemax. That's what people just call that. What are they doing?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, after Grinch's dog. I mean, what?
Yeah, I mean, and what does everyone know Cinemax for? For Skinemax, right? Like why would? How could they not think of these things? I don't understand.
And HBO is the most popular, respected streaming channel. It is when people say HBO, they think quality. Of course, they also think tits and ass, but they do think quality tits and ass.
Thank you, Game of Thrones.
Yeah, well, we want a good script with our nudity. Come on.
So do you think Harry Potter TV show will have to be?
Oh yeah. Hermione is going to be topless.
I think Warner Brothers is doing this because they're either going to sell off HBO because it's the most valuable asset they own, or they're going to force people to have to subscribe to HBO and Max separately.
Well, it's a combination of Discovery and like Warner Brothers stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, am I the only one that likes the idea of the Harry Potter thing?
Okay, I do kind of like the idea because the books do have a lot of content that had to cut down to make movies. Now, is this going to connect to the movies or is this going to be its own thing? I don't know. I hope it's its own thing.
It's a whole fresh start.
Yeah, my understanding is each season is going to be a book.
Yeah, so that could have a lot of potential, actually.
Great, but it also just go to shit.
Yeah, I mean, if they do it at the quality of the Thrones show, would that not be awesome?
Oh, that'd be incredible.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be a game changer for family entertainment.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of excited for it if they actually go that direction. Hopefully that's what they do. But you're talking investment beyond.
I know, and Dasloff is in charge.
Yeah. Which is
they're going to have each season will be 7 episodes.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, after the first 2 books, the books get pretty in depth and long. So, like, how can they afford that? Is my question.
They should just play it season by season instead of like, hey, we got 7 seasons already in the can. Like, don't do that.
Well, this is Warner Brothers, the same people that made The Hobbit into 3 damn movies. So, is the season going to be 24 episodes so they can stretch this shit out?
Probably.
Or do you go the direction of, in the last movie, they're sending their children off to Hogwarts.
That's a better idea. That's a good idea.
So could you not take it in that direction?
Absolutely, yes.
And be about their children, but do they have the stories? Again, you're talking same kind of budget stuff, though, regardless of the direction you go. So it becomes interesting to see where the balance is there with the cost to the return.
I mean, and I don't trust JK with writing any of this crap because, the Fantastic Beasts movies.
She is an executive producer on it, so.
Yeah, she's involved. She's involved, yes.
I did like the Fantastic Beasts movies, but they were never great. None of them were great.
No, she can't be writing the scripts. She doesn't do well with that. But I think from the story base, they should have her involvement.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, but like if she's going to be involved to casting to minute details, it's gonna spell trouble.
Yeah.
A lot of unhappy fanboys and girls.
Yeah.
All right. Let's keep going here. So we talked about Booster Gold before. We have a potential person that wants to be Booster Gold. Chris Pratt said that he's interested in being Star-Lord if they want him, but he's also be happy to work in DC and potentially wants to be Booster Gold. How would you like Chris Pratt as Booster Gold? I'm game. Sure.
I don't know who Booster Gold is.
He's a scumbag, time traveling hero. He's a guy who stole time travel tech and became a superhero to make money.
Not ringing any bells.
Yeah, I think
he's a character. His best run is the Bwahaha Justice League.
Yes,
he's a funny character. Yeah.
And scams. Oh my God, they were beautiful.
Well, if it gets Chris Pratt out of animated movies, so be it.
Yeah. Booster's one of those muscular guys, so he's going to have to hit the gym again.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Pratt, Ryan Reynolds personality is perfect for Booster Gold, but I don't know that I want Chris Pratt in another
similar kind of thing.
Franchise?
I just wish they had got their shit together with Booster and Beetle to do it when Nathan Fillion and Alan would have been young enough to do the characters as written.
Yeah.
Because they would have been perfect.
If they go Pratt, to me, then they are nervous.
Yeah.
Because it really should be cast with somebody younger. When you're looking at, hey, we're going to make a franchise out of this character, Pratt's getting too old, quite frankly, to be able to carry a franchise for the next 10, 15 years. But he does have the personality for it, and he can get jacked up when he wants to. But that's only negative to me. But he would fit the part right now. Problem is the future. Future it hurts.
And then who would be good? Because if you're gonna have a Booster Gold movie, you really need to have Ted Cord.
Yeah, I tell you who could do it is that Glenn Powell from Top Gun Maverick.
Okay.
You know who I mean? Not Miles Teller, but the other one who's kind of the smart-ass one.
He was the one that you mentioned in Devotion when we were talking about Jonathan Majors, the blonde-haired guy.
He's got that look, smile, kind of, has that attitude, and he certainly can get jacked up. He might be young enough, too, to pull it off. But
ooh, I like Zach Braff from Scrubs. I think he'll be a lot of fun as that.
He's like in his 50s, though.
Yeah, he's too old.
But still, I like him.
And heck, if we're going to get that old, just go with Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk, because they would be perfect.
Yeah, they would. They still would be. They're just too old, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but for what they're probably looking for. I mean, I don't know how younger audiences respond to them, or because I don't know if there's any nostalgia for them.
All right. Keep going here on Marvel news potential. Chris Evans says he's interested in potentially returning as Rogers, Captain America, or original Captain America, but he's open to the idea, but he isn't sure when or how to do it. Do you guys got Chris Evans come back or nah?
This is he's negotiating for a good payday for Secret Wars.
Probably the same thing for Tony Stark.
Yeah, and with the multiverse stuff, they can make that happen to some degree. But they're putting a lot of people and money into the new Cap movie. They're bringing people back from Incredible Hulk. So I find it hard to believe they would just go back in that direction.
And then they just kind of cut Frank Grillo loose. Because I mean that's the newest big what they call defection from Marvel to DC, but hey, they killed off Crossbones, which was a shame.
Yeah,
he's such a character.
So I like John's idea here that he's trying to bait them to give him more money to be a cameo.
Yeah, that's what I think this is all about. Oh, I'm thinking about it. That's kind of Hollywood speak for put another zero on that check.
Yeah.
All right. Let's keep going here. Now, Gunn has talked about briefly that, superhero fatigue, is that a thing? I think it is a thing. I think he also kind of said that you have a lot of options, and I think that is where you really could do interesting stuff. If you go wild and not all of them have to be the same kind of superhero movie. So.
Yeah. Yeah, superheroes have now, because of technology and interest, I think have become a genre like Westerns.
Yep.
And it'll flow and because there was a time Hollywood cranked out Westerns in an insane amount, much more insane than they do superhero movies.
Yeah, in the 50s and 60s, the Westerns were superhero movies, and then you still got Westerns in the 70s, but they weren't out as much, and they had changed quite a bit, too.
And Clint Eastwood changed the Western forever when he went to Italy. I mean,
right.
When his movie came back, they changed Westerns. Americans, audiences did not want to see John Wayne-style Westerns anymore. They wanted to see these bloody, sexy things coming out of Italy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's more of a, hey, we don't want to see average to bad movies anymore, and that's kind of where they've gotten to, unfortunately. Not just DC, but Marvel as well. They've gotten average, and they were great. They were, questionably Oscar-nominated films of the year type movies, and they dropped off. And I don't know, like Spider-Man No Way From Home, I really enjoyed. But it wasn't as good as like Infinity War or Endgame, in my opinion, as far as the quality of the movie. There was great nostalgia there. It pulled at your heartstrings really well. But they hit a peak, and it's hard to keep at that level. And with the internal rumblings change and management and stuff like that, I think they're just going through an adjustment period here. And hopefully,
Disney also has a habit of just throw as many out there as you can and make the most for your buck instead of like, we'll just do one a year or two a year. It's like 3 or 4, and it just
So
other studios are doing the same thing.
They did the exact same thing with Star Wars. They rushed stuff out, quality dropped, And now that as they've calmed down, I don't know if you guys watched Andor, but Andor was really good. Had strong quality. And it seems like the plan that they announced at Celebration these past couple of weeks for Star Wars, if they've realized it and they're slowly moving ahead with a plan, thankfully. And hopefully that quality will be there moving forward with that as well.
Okay. We got confirmation that the new Transformers movie is a 3D movie by seeing it as an actual, 3D trailer in front of Mario. Awesome. Cool.
Yes. Good 3D there.
Yeah. We got to see the Barbie new trailer, which I don't know if that's a 3D movie or not, but it looks crazy as hell.
Yeah.
Probably not. What I thought was funny is my screening of Mario Brothers, kids were harder at the beach off than the adults.
Laughing at what?
What?
The beach off joke.
Oh, beat off joke. Okay, yeah.
That's a funny masturbation joke. We're going to have a beach off. Nobody's beaching off anybody. And the kids were laughing harder than the adults at my screening. So all these people have been complaining about that trailer, saying it's way too adult. Shouldn't have had it in front of Mario. No, kids understood it.
Yeah.
And had no.
I mean, I think the problem is kids shouldn't really understand.
Yeah.
What that is.
Yeah, but kids. I mean, I thought I had it rough because I had to take atomic bomb drills in school. Today, kids, are having.
Well, we had school shootings. Yeah.
So they're having to grow up a lot faster than even we did.
Yeah.
And it sucks, but it's the reality.
Yeah. Well, the proliferation of the internet also helps with that.
Yeah. They have access to full-on porn, not just National Geographic.
and not just squiggles on a scrambled TV.
Yeah. So,
yeah, exactly.
What do you guys think of Barbie? It looks pretty crazy.
I hope it's as good as it looks. I had my doubt.
I mean, Gerwig's a really good director. She looks like she's kind of taken Barbie and made like a Lego type movie out of it, which is going to be awesome if it lives up to its trailer.
Yeah, Noah Baumbach, her boyfriend or partner, also co-wrote the movie with Greta Gerwig, so I hope it's as well written as like Marriage Story or like Little Women is,
John, what do you...
They have you can do your own selfie with the Barbie logo and stuff. People come up with fake stuff.
Yeah, I'm not overly interested in a Barbie movie, but the creative people behind it is what interests me. The people you're just talking about, and the quality of stuff they've done before, and if they've brought, if Mattel has truly, or whoever financed the whole thing, truly let them bring their creative talents to it, then I think it could be really, really something.
I'm just glad it's not Amy Schumer as it was originally cast 5 years ago. That was awful casting.
Yeah.
All right. What else do you want to say, Jake, about it?
That would have been awful. Kind of like having Julia Roberts play Harriet Tubman.
Okay. Let's keep going here. We got two more things. So I originally said, the Mario made $500 million in a week. Nope, it made 600 and change million in a week. So it is on track to make $1 billion in 2 weeks.
I hope so.
So it is a huge monster.
It's the biggest grossing video game movie already.
And it'll probably take animated.
It shattered the video game movie curse.
Oh yeah. So it is a monster out there, and it is. I really enjoyed the movie, but we'll get to that in the spoiler cast. But yeah, it's incredible how much people like this movie and how much money it's made. I don't think Nintendo was prepared for this or elimination, but to a degree, I also think they were planning on this because you see the toys everywhere now as well.
Yeah.
John?
I think there's no doubt that Mario is the most popular character on Earth.
Oh God, did you just say Mario? Oh God.
Well, as I told you guys offline, I haven't seen it yet, but the trailers I love. The animation looks great, so
it is.
I look forward to listening to your review when it's posted.
All right, let's end things here with the last trailer, the big trailer here, I guess. The Marvels got a teaser trailer, and it's the most disliked teaser trailer. I actually like it a lot, though. What do you got?
Yeah, it's better than the Captain Marvel movie already, just based on how fun it looks.
Mm-hmm.
And Miss Marvel?
Looks like this looks like it's not a stealth biog. Looks like it's not a stealth movie about Nick Fury. It's actually about Captain Marvel.
Yeah, it looked better than what I anticipated, to be honest with you. And I mean, Marvel's going to need a kind of a lighthearted side to it, with Guardians leaving and Ant-Man probably not coming back for a single adventure. So maybe this is it. I don't know. They really portrayed Captain Marvel as a hard ass in Endgame. So it's kind of nice to see the more playful side. So it looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It looks fun. I don't know why. I mean, I know why. The reason why is obvious. You know, misogyny and sexism. But it looks like a fun movie. But yeah, it's so disliked and hated because there's 3 main female characters. Oh my god, and one of them is a Muslim. Oh, so stupid. The hate for this movie.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Like, if it's enjoyable, it's enjoyable. Who cares about that? I don't get that.
Well,
racism and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, a black female Captain Marvel has been in the comics for what, since the 70s, Jake, or early 80s, right?
70s.
Yeah, I mean, she was part of the Avengers going back to the late 70s. That's not anything new to our time. Yeah. So I guess they don't know that, but I mean that.
Well, they care.
Haters gonna hate. Haters gonna hate. Haters gonna hate.
I mean, when I read the Avengers in the 80s, that's who the Captain Marvel was in the Avengers. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So
they can scream all too, but the Captain Marvel movie made $1 billion.
I mean,
yeah, and that wasn't even one of the better Marvel movies.
It wasn't
one of the worst.
But it hit a niche that was, well, audiences wanted a female lead superhero movie.
It kind of sucks that Wonder Woman didn't hit $1 billion, because that's a way better movie than Captain Marvel ever could be.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it is. I think I would rather have. They keep injecting these young kids into some of this stuff. They did it with Black Panther as well. That feels forced to me, and maybe I didn't watch Miss Marvel on Disney Plus, so maybe I'm missing out on that character. Yeah, on that character, but I hope that's okay. I'll leave it at that.
I mean, I love her reaction in this and how she reacts very realistically, with both of her in space screaming, yeah, I'll be screaming too. And then seeing a cat do what he did, and yeah, I'll be screaming too.
Yeah.
And delivery was awesome.
I liked it in Hawkeye on that Disney Plus show. I liked the young female lead in that. So hopefully, hopefully it's as good as that.
Yeah, I want there to be a Hawkeye season 2 where the greatest enemy is a snowplow.
Oh my gosh! So cool, man. He was saving his nephew's life. Come on, man.
Yeah, it is. It's fair.
And that's how we're gonna wrap up this podcast. Jesus Louise. Damn it, Jake. You Jake. I mean, we're going to wrap up this podcast talking about sexism and racism and hate anyway with this movie, but whatever. I mean, look, it looks fun. It looks like a fun movie, and I really think I was, like John said, the first Brie Larson was in first Captain Marvel. She was so stiff. And she looks like she's relaxed here. She looks like she's having a good time. And it looks like it's a fun, light movie. I don't know why. It's just having a Muslim, a woman, and a black woman. 3 women, and it's just too much for some people to handle. Which is like, no, it shouldn't be. It's fun. Yeah. And it looks better than I could have imagined, considering that everyone agrees the first Captain Marvel was very bad. It was not terrible, but it was just meh.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what the hell the villain is, what's going on with that, but okay, I'm fine. I'm game.
Like, I don't even know who the villain is in Guardians 3, so, I mean, that's fair.
Well, Adam Warlock, I think, is going to be the villain for part of it. But
the high evolutionary.
Yeah, my guess is he turns around by the end and is a teammate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that is the kind of Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I love the scene, when they first show the gherkin and the cat, and then later on they show in the trailer a whole bunch of cats going down the staircase, and I was like, oh, I know what that's going to happen. And it's like the first time you see a bunch of cats kittens, I think it were, going down a staircase, and it's going to be a terrible scene after that.
Yeah. So much death. It's going to be like in Guardians 2 with that flying arrow, and it's just killing everybody.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, I guess we do. I'll make sure this doesn't end on a weird, racist, hateful note. We do got another 3D Blu-ray release news.
All right.
From the good people at 3D Film Archive. This is, what is it called? Oh, where is it at? I know I'm not logged in Facebook. Go away. But yeah, there's a new film that they're talking about. Where is it? Imperfect Spectrum? No. I guess maybe I was wrong. Maybe I said it in a bad way. I mean, Robot Monster recently came out. Does anyone know about that movie?
It's like from the 50s, ain't it?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Mm-mm.
Classic Jake? You know about that?
You're going in and out, so I didn't.
Is it Prison Girls you're thinking about?
Maybe.
Yeah, it comes out June 27th from Tino Lorber. Yep.
By Ed Wood.
Yeah.
No, it should be. It says Tom DeSimone.
Not familiar with only Prison Girls movie I'm familiar with from the 70s is directed by Ed Wood.
Yeah, this one came out in 73.
Yeah, the art for that Prison Girls is quite not at all suggestive.
Yeah.
But
it's a 3D release, dang it.
A bunch of 3D movies that they've been quietly trying to raise money to get restored because they know a lot of 3D fans are kind of prudish.
Yeah, but hey, I mean, we also got like Sig 2 and Minions 2 and The Bad Guys coming out on 3D Blu-ray as well, which is awesome.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Bad Guys is a must-have.
Okay.
Yes.
Here's the one: The Man Who Wasn't There 3D, 1983. This is.
Oh, is that finally coming to 3D?
Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah. Steve Guttenberg. It's
nice.
It's got some stuff.
That's gonna have to be busted.
Yeah, I remember. Had some nice 3D.
It had an interesting filming process with the 3D because it was done with one camera, but it was a lens that split the film in half essentially. So it was kind of an interesting 3D filmmaking technique, but I'm interested to see how it is on 3D.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's gonna look better than the split lenses that people were using to make 3D movies on videotape. I don't know if you've seen any of those really low budget softcore 3D movies that came out in the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, I was like a teenager then.
No, some of them are worth picking up. I mean, the movies are like lo-fi. Look like they were filmed on a budget of $1,000. but the
Right.
3D is really good.
I haven't seen those.
John, have you
And
seen
you can
this?
probably pick like
No, I have not.
you can probably pick them up for under $5 a piece.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I upgraded my DVDs to Blu-ray, I got them for like $2 each.
So it's a comedy directed by Bruce Malmuth, starring Steve Guttenberg.
I mean, I remember the movie, but I don't remember ever seeing it in 3D in the theater or anything like that.
Yeah, it was a huge flop at the box office, and I think it rarely released in theaters.
Yeah, the only reason I saw it in 3D is because at the time I was living in Atlanta. Because it did not. Most people I know, it never even played near them in 3D.
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay. Well, that's something cool. That's coming out soon, this summer, I think it is, or this year. So.
Yeah.
All right. I guess that's something different to end the show on.
Yeah.
And
the last podcast going to have Steve Guttenberg in it.
Yeah, I mean, we covered a gambit of stuff. You know, Prison Girls, Booster Gold, and Moana, and Trolls, and
racism.
Yeah.
Saving all the, fixing all the world's problems.
Yeah.
You do. We try our best.
All right, that's going to be it for Dead 3D Show 116. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
See you, everybody.
Bye, folks.
Before this podcast wraps up, I want to thank my patrons. Thank you, Kano3D, MK Ultra, Kevin Winter, Alex Folk, and Gravity Head Zero for your financial support on Patreon.com. You can find 3D or 2D on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, and more. Just look for 3D or 2D. Thank you for either listening or watching this podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Take care. Bye.